Sara Duterte, nag-resign! Resigns from Marcos Cabinet, article uliton ng ABS-CBN News. Vice President Sara Duterte on Wednesday resigned from the cabinet of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. following tense relations between their families in recent months. Hala, ang UNITEAM naging division. Magandang tunog sa kanila ito. Duterte tendered her resignation as member of the cabinet, secretary of the Department of Education, and vice chairperson of the NTF-ELCAC effective 19 July 2024. Ito sabi ni Presidential Communications Secretary Cheloy Garafil. Garafil said President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. accepted Duterte's decision, adding that the Vice President declined to give a reason for leaving the cabinet. Hanggang dito pa nawawalan transparency. Hindi, charot lang. Privacy nila yun. Hindi natin alam. Hindi natin malalaman. Parang yung 125 million. Okay. Ito, Duterte will continue as Vice President. Bakit? Di ba pwede mag-resign na rin siya doon? Ito sabi ni Garapil ata to. Para sa official, yun nakalagay. We thank her for her service. Yun lang. As Vice President, the 46-year-old. Kala ko nasa 675 na. The 46-year-old would take over as president in case Marcos 66 dies or becomes unable to perform his duties at any time during their 6-year terms. Ito namang ABS-CBN reporter na to. Pinangarap pa mag-iba. Charot lang. In-explain lang nila kung ano na mangyayari kung sakaling gano'n, di ba? In a speech shortly after the palace announcement, Duterte said she met with Marcos earlier in the day to file her resignation. She said she provided a 30-day notice to ensure the proper and orderly transition for the benefit of the next secretary. Ito sabi ni Sara Duterte. Mga kababayan, ang aking pagbibitiw ay hindi lulan ng kahinaan. Wait, lalagyan natin ng magandang background music to. Sayang naman yung ginawa niya letter, diba? Ito. Mga kababayan, ang aking pagbibitiw ay hindi lulan ng kahinaan, kundi dala ng tunay na malasakit para sa ating mga guro at kabataang Pilipino. Bagamat hindi ako magpapatuloy na mamahala sa kagawaran, patuloy pa rin nating itataguyod ang kalidad ng edukasyon na nararapat para sa Pilipino. Yun na yan. Diba? Paano mo saseryosohin yan, diba? Ito ang... Yun. Ito sabi ni Sara Duterte sa kanyang resignation letter. I hereby tender my irrevocable resignation as Secretary of the Department of Education and co-Vice Chairperson of the NTF-ELCAC effective 19 July 2024. For a proper and orderly turnover, I have prepared a 30-day transition plan for all the 9 strands in the central office, as well as from the different board and councils chaired by DepEd and SEA-MEO. I shall remain of service to the country through the various programs, activities, and projects of the Office of the Vice President. I thank you for the opportunity to have served as a member of your cabinet. Marcos and Duterte had teamed up to a landslide victory in the May 2022 presidential and vice presidential election. Siyempre, marami SD card ngayon. Mabenta. Relations between the Marcos and Duterte families have plummeted in the past 2 years. Fronting a rally of supporters in his home city, Davao, on January 28, Duterte accused Marcos of being a drug addict, while his youngest son, Sebastian Duterte, said Marcos should resign. Marcos hit back the next day. Bumawi, kala mo ha? Anong addict ako? Sabi ni Marcos, he claims that his predecessor's long-term use of the powerful opioid fentanyl had taken a toll on his health. Ngunit, neither man provide evidence of the other alleged drug use. Pero halata naman sa kanila eh. Okay na yun. Sapat na yung ebidensya. The former president has also urged the military and police to unseat Marcos if he pursued his proposal to amend the constitution and threatened to get his southern home region of Mindanao to secede. Gusto mo maging country ang Mindanao. Tapos papalitan niya ng Maharlika. Marcos and Sara Duterte had tried to downplay the tension between their clans by saying their tandem remained. Unity. However, more recently, Duterte told the media that her alliance with Marcos was only good during the elections. Division. Duterte was also silent on recent policy issues such as West Philippine Sea. Tahimik. Ako'y tahimik lang sa umpisa. Na bagong Pilipinas hymn. Siyempre ba siya magsasalita? And the cases against Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, among others, noted Senate President Chis Escudero. So, ang tahimik niya lang sa umpisa. Kahit di niya kapilitin. Sabi ni Escudero, as the Vice President, she has every right to have policy differences with the President, and I believe that people love and respect her precisely for that, for having and fighting for what she believes in, and for her own beliefs. I wish her well in this, her new journey as she continues to serve our people as our Vice President. Duterte's exit from the cabinet terminates absolutely the UNITEAM. Sabi yan ni Albay, 1st District Representative and Liberal Party President Edsel Lagman. Sabi naman ni ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro, the resignation of Bibi Duterte from the Marcos Jr. cabinet also marks the open war between the former allies and the upcoming escalation of hostilities between the two camps. The development, ito sabi naman ni Gabriela Party List Representative Arlim Rosas, the development is definitely a political move in preparation for the 2025 elections to set the stage for a potential power struggle between the Duterte and Marcos factions. Nagpapalakas para daw mas lumakas yung power nila sa Senate. Diba, Senate ang kung dapat tanggalin na yung presidente sa vice-presidente. Duterte did not entertain questions from reporters after issuing her statement. Ako'y tahimik lang sa umpisa. Ito sabi ni Defense Undersecretary Michael Powa, we understand that most are curious as to the reason behind such decision, but what is of greater and pressing importance is that a proper transition be made for the next secretary. Dagdag pa niya, we ask for patience, especially from our media partners and friends, as we will not be taking interviews on the matter during the transition period. Tahimik lang sila sa 30 days. Senator Coco Pimentel urged Marcos to immediately prepare to appoint the next Secretary of Education. Sana naman yung maayos ang i-appoint nyo naman, ha? At sabi ni Coco Pimentel, this person must be someone who was worked with or in the department for decades, someone familiar with how the department works as well as with the problems of the education sector and educational system, someone who has dedicated his or her life to education and can show the track record for it. The Vice President said she would keep a close eye on the education sector. Ito, patugtugan pa uli natin kasi siya na naman eh. Nasaan na yung mga background music natin? Patugtugan natin yan. Nasaan na yung background ko? Ito. Patuloy pa rin nating itataguyod ang kalidad ng edukasyon na nararapat para sa mga Pilipino. Mananatili akong isang ina na nagmamatsyag at titindig para sa karapatan ng bawat guro at mag-aaral sa Pilipinas. In her last speech, wow, may last speech, as Education Secretary, Duterte underscored her achievements as head of the department, including her Matatag program, which sought to address the woes in the basic education sector. Matatag. Hindi pa nga na kung okay yung matatag na yan. Ano sabi ni Duterte uli? DepEd has had to innovate on the provisions of basic education facilities to address the congestion and avoid learning disruption in times of calamities. Dagdag pa niya, we have removed all administrative tasks to unburden our teachers. During her tenure as DepEd Chief, ito yung mga achievements. The agency provided internet connection to 2,000 last-mile schools and sought for all schools to be connected by the end of 2025. Duterte also highlighted the hotline she created for teachers and students who are in distress. Ano yung hotline? Ba't di natin alam to? So ano masasabi niyo mga kaibigan sa pag-resign nitong si Duterte? Comment down below!